it will not surprise you to learn that it's cold in my car. It's been a really lovely spring day today, but it is properly cold right now. I have just come out of the cinema, obvs. I have been to see a new horror film called X this evening, and this is written and directed by a chap called Ty West, and it is set in 1979 in Texas. Straight away we're on quite familiar horror territory, because there's another quite famous horror film set in Texas in the 70s, although that was actually made in the 70s as well. I'm speaking, of course, about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And this definitely has things in common with that film, aside from the Texas setting and it being the same era. You've got a camper van, a group of friends, only these friends aren't out for a jolly, they are out to have a jolly good time making themselves an adult film. So Martin Henderson plays a guy called Wayne, and he's funding this new porn film that he thinks is gonna basically make his career, make him a boatload of money. He's brought in a young independent director who's sort of thinks he's going to make it art, like he's going to do an art house porno. He brings along his girlfriend, who's quite uptight, but you can tell that she's interested in what's going on. She's played by Jenna Ortega. So yeah, there's this group of people. You've got Wayne, and then you've got the director and his girlfriend. You've got the leading man, and then you've got the two female stars, one of which is Wayne's very young partner. And they all head down to a farmhouse in Texas, and sort of deep, I was going to say deep dark Texas, but it's sort of hot everywhere in Texas. But they head down to this farmhouse. He's done a deal with the old boy who owns the farm to stay in that guest house, and he obviously doesn't let on as to what it is they're doing. So an old couple live in the house. They've got this guest house and this barn on their property, and as far as they're concerned, these people are just renting out the guest house for a little stay, but of course they're actually shooting an adult film. So yeah, it's definitely a horror film, and it really enjoys its 18th certificate. There is a lot of blood and guts and gore and really gnarly deaths. Because it's an 18 and because they're making an adult film, there's also quite a lot of boobs and bums, and it's really good fun, actually. I just said there's loads of blood and guts and gore, boobs and bums, and then followed it with it's really good fun. But it is good fun. I really like the look of it. I like the 70s vibe when they're actually shooting The Farmer's Daughters, which is the adult film that they're making within the film. It goes into that lovely sort of grainy 70s, and it's obviously in a square. I'm trying to think, like, you know, like tellies used to be. So you get to see the footage of the porn film that they're making, and then obviously what's going on around them. And it's tense in places. It really ratchets up the tension, because it does that thing of, it starts at the end. So you see the cops arriving and you see lots of bodies covered in sheets. And then we go back 24 hours to them all making the journey down to the farm. So you know that bad things are coming because you've seen the beginning of the film where there was bodies everywhere. So it's just, who's going to do the murdering and when's it going to start, basically. So it was well paced. It's only like an hour and 40 minutes long. It looks great. It's got a good soundtrack. The cast are good. It's nasty, like I say, in places the murders are unpleasant, you know, as murders generally are. But it's got quite a good sense of fun as well, and it has got a few laughs in there. I know that sounds bizarre, but you know, there is some funny scenes and some laughs to be had, and it is, like I say, it's very tense in places, and it was a perfect Saturday night film. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit niche. Do you like X-rated horror films? Do you like horror films that also have porn in them? Because if you do, this is your thing. Enjoy. I was going to say have at it, and that just didn't feel right. But yes, I enjoyed it. It was good fun, and I would recommend it to those who like horror films and porn films. If this is you, go and check it out. Okay, that's it. Katie out.